Hey, what's happening, guys? It's Sunjoku. Today's loss sucked. It was season ending for us pretty much as far as our playoffs are concerned. I've seen a lot of really, really negative videos out there tonight. It's really kind of driving me nuts and pissing me off. I'm going to let you guys know I'm sitting here right now happy as shit. And I'm going to tell you why. We're going to break the whole monotony of this whole fucking night of everybody going out there and just blaming everybody else for this loss and who did this and who did what. I will tell you right now, besides losing Foster for probably the rest of the season, from what Gruden said at his end of the game press conference, this dude is a key piece to our offense. It's going to suck not having him in there, especially with how depleted we are at wide receiver. But this kid he's awesome. And we have him locked down going into Vegas. Him and Waller going into Vegas. And with Carrier, you'll see how valuable he is because he's going to have to step up over these next few games. But whenever you can go into your off season and then just cross tight end off the board because you don't need any, that's a great feeling. So it sucks that he's gone, but again, that's a huge step for us going forward. Waller, right? Honestly, all three of our tight ends, it's a huge gain for us. We have it locked down. The only thing that I think we need to do to make this season completely successful is win this game. We have to beat the Jags at home. We have to give that to the people of Oakland. It has to happen. Derek Carr has to start this game, and Derek Carr needs to win this game for all those people. He has to. And then these last two games, you guys might give me shit about it, and then the media will have a fucking field day with it. But I think Kaiser should start these last two games. I think Gruden will probably have him start these last two games. Everybody will make a big deal out of it, saying that Carr's been benched. And that won't be what it is at all. This is what I was trying to explain to you guys in that last video. It's just the chance for us to see Kaiser, let him play a couple teams that will still be competitive because they're both divisional games, and just give him a shot at it because at that point, our record's not going to matter, and there's no chance that we should even possibly get Derek Carr hurt before we head into Vegas. So do not be surprised if you see that happen. I'd actually like to see that happen now that our playoff run is over. But Carr needs to go out there and kick the shit out of the Jags. Speaking of Derek Carr, Musburger came out there and snuck in a few hints that we should start looking at Mariota. No, I'm sorry. I want to see what Kaiser has. I want to possibly draft a rookie. But Derek Carr needs to lead us into Vegas. I'm not going to say anything else about this. If we can have our quarterback locked down going into Vegas and actually have some fucking receivers for him to throw the ball to, I think that would make a dramatic difference. He has not had a true receiving duo since he had Crabtree and Cooper. And the first year he had that, he lit the NFL up. So I'm not done with Carr, not giving up on him. I do want to see Kaiser in those last two games, but I want to see Carr carrying us into Vegas. Josh Jacobs, another solid piece we have locked down. Going forward, we have pretty much the rookie of the year. I would not be surprised if he did not play the rest of this season. If he does, I want to see him play against the Jags because they were resting him for that game, and then I do not think we will see him again. I'm perfectly okay with that. Let him get rested. Let him come back. Get another running back behind him. Washington played good today. I was really, really happy to see that. He truly did. But all these backs are about the same size. We need to get somebody big. Like the LeGarrette Blount, I know a lot of people always talk about him. I want somebody young and big that we can bring in there and just really bruise people with. But our number one running back spot, completely set. Loving it. Zay Jones, get him off the team. I am done with Zay Jones. I was expecting a lot from him. We got absolutely nothing from him. I know I said this before, but I just want to come out here and just say it straight. Zay Jones will no longer be a Raider at the end of this season if he even makes it that far. He was a mistake. Let him go. Bring in a rookie. We need to sign one true veteran number one receiver. But yeah, get Zay Jones out of here. I don't think Aitman's going to make the cut. Let Doss start taking any Zay Jones rep that he has during the actual game. See if we can develop him a little bit more. See if he's a true talent. The last thing I want to talk about on these before we jump into that game, is it Paul Guenther or is it the defensive pieces that he has? That's the question I want to ask you guys. I like Guenther. I really do. he's missing a ton of pieces on this defense. Injuries, if you want to blame our season on anything, blame it on injuries. Injuries have completely screwed us this entire season. His entire defense was picked apart by injury. And then we just straight up need linebackers. There's no other way to say it. But let me know, because there's a good chance Gunther loses his job at the end of this year. And I just want to know what you guys think. It could be a welcome change. I still want to ride Gunther out and just get him the pieces that he needs, because when this defense, you can see it in spurts, and when it works, it truly does work. We just get burned too much because we don't have the speed to keep up with some of the guys out there right now. And we have to double down, and a lot of our brackets get broken, and that's not on Gunther. The defensive scheme is there, but the players are not there. So let me know what you guys think about that. But honestly, going forward, going into this next free agency, going into this draft, you guys have to remember we're rebuilding the right way. And I know there's people out there that are like, you can rebuild a team in one damn season, come out there and be a contender the next year. And you can, you're right. And you blow your cap and you put all these dudes on 1 or 2 year contracts, and then the next season that whole team crumbles and you go to shit again. You have to do it the way that Mayock and Gruden are doing it. And it sucks, and it's painful, and there's a lot of growing pains. You see some really good people that you like getting cut or traded. But, I mean, it is what it is. By the time this is done in the next, I mean, if we end up going 9-7 or 8-8, it's a big improvement from last season. And then next season we end up going 10-6 or 11-5. And then the season after that, we're in the Super Bowl because we keep growing that core group of people. You got to figure, Gruden flipped this entire fucking roster over. We ended up keeping, it was Derek Carr, kept Carl Joseph, we kept Markel Lee out there, and then we pretty much flipped it, and then our core grew a little bit. And then at the end of this season, with all these rookies that we had step up, and a few key dudes that we brought in here, like Vontez, that core is going to grow to like 20 or 25 dudes that aren't going to end up being cut and flipped over at the end of this season. So, I mean, every year is going to get a little bit better. Everybody's going to gel a little bit more. I would not be surprised if nobody ended up getting fired. I appreciate that. Subscribe right there. But just be patient. I know it sucks to say, and I know we've been saying it for like 20 years right now. But we finally have something that's actually in place that is working the right way. And I'm honestly super excited about it. So don't get pissed at me because I said I want to see Kaiser start those last two games. But realistically, I think it should happen. Our defense right now, like I said, we can take any quarterback and make them look like a fucking superstar. Tannehill, 21 for 27, 391, 3 touchdowns. Dude lit us up. We did not get the pressure that we had to. When we did get the pressure, he rolled out and was making big plays. Derrick Henry, 18 for 103, 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry's a beast. There's no other way to say it. He ran right through us, and he was able to because the play action was just annihilating us today. Our defense played so poorly today. It was unreal. Our offense actually played pretty good in that first half. Our defense got marched down every single time they had the ball. That Hurst pick was cool, and he ended up rolling down the field for a good bit of yardage. But when you have them pinned and it's the ball on the 9 in the first play, they end up going 91 yards. That was like that Saints game a few years ago. That shit killed me. Our defense played atrocious today. A.J. Brown had a field day, just a true field day. You was not expecting that. And then, I mean, look at that. He spread that ball around, and that was just a lack of pressure, people being able to roll around, people being able to break routes to become wide open. Their defense played pretty good. They got the Carr once. Carr didn't throw any picks today, so that was good to see. Carr was 25 of 34 for 263 and 2 touchdowns. Carr did not play a really good game. He played a good first half. His second half was pretty bad. When we weren't able to get those points in the third quarter and we had great field position, I pretty much knew the game was over at that point, so I was pretty pissed about that. But I get what you guys are saying. I know everybody's still so pissed off about him. But Derek Carr is a good-ass quarterback. I promise you he is. He just needs receivers on the outside. When you do not have a true number 1 receiver or a true number 2 receiver, which I think Ty Williams, if he had a true number 1 out there, could be a true number 2. So don't forget about him. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think we are going to bring in we need to bring in a stud number one wide receiver. There's going to be a few of them out there in this offseason, and we're definitely going to end up getting one of them, possibly even two of them, because I want to give Carr a fair shake at it. Because I'll tell you right now, if he had people where they had to double out on the outside, Jacobs would be opened up, Waller would be opened up, our entire offense and our entire playbook would finally be opened up. So don't give up on him yet. Washington, like I said, had a good game. He had 14 carries for 53, but he also had 6 catches for 43. So he was just under 100 yards all purpose, ended up having that touchdown. Rashard ended up playing pretty good today. He had 2 catches for 18, and he had 7 carries for 28. So, I mean, they stepped up behind not having Jacobs out there. Ingold got stuffed, and I honestly thought we were going to see him more than we did. Darren Waller had a pretty big game, 6 for 73. Rico Gafford, told you guys he was going to be out there playing this week. He had that one catch for a big touchdown. He really didn't do anything else, and that was a busted play where he just ended up wide open. So I'm really hoping it's not one of those Trevor Davis things where he comes out there, makes a big play at his first game, and then just disappears. But I could see him taking over the return duties for us. So I think we're going to end up seeing him stick around for at least the rest of the season for sure. Kept saying they wanted to get Ty Williams involved in the game early. 3 for 35 is not going to do it. Like I said, he's not our true. He's our number one, but he's not a true number one. Keelan Doss, 3 for 26. I was pretty happy to see that. Wasn't expecting too much out of him, but seeing him get more involved, really, I want to see. I just want to see what he can do before this season ends. Zay Jones down here, 1 for 5. I told you, I'm done with him. Our defense, I mean, everybody had some decent tackles out there, but this was not a very good game for us. Our defense pretty much, Henry destroyed us, and then because of that, they were just able to open up their passing game completely. It was a shit loss, but like I said, I wanted to bring you guys something a little bit more optimistic, just so you could see what I was thinking. Let me know if you guys agree with me. Let me know if you want to see Kaiser those last 2 games. I think Carr definitely plays against the Jags. We need that win for all the people of Oakland. Derek Carr better go out there and get it. I do not care if you're depleted. I do not care if you do not have something. You owe it to Oakland to win that game, and I think we'll definitely do it. I think the crowd itself will win us that game or that next game versus Jacksonville. But let me know, guys. I appreciate everybody that watches this. I'm Sun Joku. We will catch you guys next time.